Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that I'm making, please click that subscribe button. Also remember to click that bell button and make sure to tick that box to send all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. With that in mind, let's get on with the video. What's up guys, welcome to Munchkins Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Munchkins logging in to bring you another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. In this video, it's gonna be me making my tier list for the level 60 era. Now, with the level 70 era approaching us and the level 60 era ending, I just want to give you guys a tier list of all the characters that we got, and all their achievements, of course, will be considered in this tier list. So if a character has done well during a certain amount of time, then I will add that as to one of their achievements and may increase their ranking overall rather than put it down in the rankings. So the caveat for this is, unfortunately, if a character did not get a rework in the global version of the game at the end of the level 60 era, then unfortunately I will have to categorize that characters as is without their rework. So if they got their reworked, for example, Lightning is the last character that we got that has gotten the rework, I will put Lightning here as with her rework in the rankings. So the last thing is, this is my own opinion, and you guys are welcome to make your own tier list. This is just from my own personal experience using these characters, and of course what the majority, I guess, of the fan base have decided. In a way, there are definitely meta characters, and so please try to hold on to your pitchforks, because this is my own opinion. And as you guys notice, I am still not very well. My voice is still off. I have decided to take off from work, but I was getting bored and I thought I would make a video regardless. I will rest after this, I promise. The other thing is, I actually tried to make a video this earlier, and I noticed towards the end when I finished with the tier list, I'm like, I'm missing a few characters. So that's a half hour of my life gone. So anyway, I decided to make my own tier list here, and I do believe I have all 99 characters in the level 60 era. So without further ado, let's start this video off with Agrius. I think Agrius at least deserves to be in the S tier. I would actually want to put her in the SS, just for the fact that she's got great aura, great frame buff, has a chance to paralyze, and if you have her EX, she can silence too. Her kit is just amazing. Unfortunately, I didn't get her EX. I'm really disappointed with that, but this is not the final tier list yet. I may change my mind later and put her in the SS, but for now, I think she deserves to be in the S tier. Next is Ace. I think Ace deserves to be in the A tier. He was one of the early characters that we got the EX that had an overflow plus a splash damage. So the only thing that really holds me back putting Ace up in the S tier class is his first ability, Mega Burst. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any HP attack, and with the current I suppose the current difficulty, a character that actually doesn't do a Brave plus HP attack is just not great. As sad as that is, that's just the way it is, and Ace didn't really stay as a powerhouse overall as well. You would see him from time to time again, but I think he lasted for about 2 weeks, sorry, to a month, maybe less than that, in terms of power. So I would put him in the A tier. That's still pretty good, so don't shoot me. A tier class is pretty good. Next is Alice. I have to put her in D. I do believe we did get her EX. Now let me just double check. DissidiaDB.com, guys. This is where I got all these photos, and it's where I usually get all my info as well. So, all right. Oh, looks like we didn't get her EX. I thought we did. Okay, no EX as well, so definitely a D. D department for Alice, unfortunately. I know she gets stronger in the level 70 era, but we are talking about the level 60 era. So next is, let's see, it's Arif. Arif, I think, deserves to be in the C tier. A little bit above Alice, due to the fact that she can revive and she can bulk heal. As a support character, someone that can revive is very rare, and excuse me, I feel like she deserves at least to be in the C tier. There are definitely other characters that are better than her in terms of a support type, but I think I'll put her in C for now. Next is Ash. Ooh, Ash. She just recently got her rework. She's definitely at least an A. I think she deserves to be at least an A. Just for the fact that she's got good damage, a good party buff, and can paralyze as well with her EX. I'm more inclined to put her in the S tier actually. But achievement wise, she hasn't really done much because we only got her rework at the end. So should I put her in S alongside with Agrius? She does tick all the boxes just the way Agrius does, so maybe she does deserve to be in the S tier. Alright, I think I will put her in the S tier for now. The only thing is she hasn't really done any achievements. That's the only thing. That's why I Oh, come on, Ash. Ooh, where should I put you? Alright, overall I think she deserves to be in the S. I think she deserves to be. With that rework, is really, really good. Yeah, I may change my mind again. I may change my mind later, but for now, let's go with that. Next is Oran. I think he deserves to be in D. Even with his EX, unfortunately, he didn't have any staying power. He wasn't that great. His EX wasn't that great either, so even with the melee imperil, he just doesn't have the strength, like the staying power. Next is Balthier. Oh my gosh, Balthier. That rework. Let's see. Definitely deserves an A. Because the damage increase, the buff, the special buff that's framed, plus he can steal like buffs. I mean, yeah, he deserves to be in the A tier. Next is Barrett. I didn't actually use Barrett a lot. I would incline to put him in E, but I think his frame buff is actually pretty good. He doesn't have any EX, so that's a point down already. So yeah, I think I'll put him there. I'll be nice and put him in D. Next is Bart's, definitely deserving of the SS tier. He pretty much regenerates, charges his EX every other turn. Great Brave Battery, great DPS, can last for a very long time because of that fast charge EX. Yeah, definitely an SS tier. Next, Beatrix. Beatrix deserves to be in the SS just for the fact that her achievements, when she first came out, she was the first global exclusive character ever. And when she came out, she just blitzed through everything. She just made everything easier. And if you didn't have her, it was just a struggle. Great Brave Battery, great buffs overall. Thunder Slash Plus was the first overflow abilities, and man, that was great. Claim Hazard Plus as well, great frame buff that Beatrix gets, and the splash damage was great as well. Probably she's not as great as she used to be, but because of her achievements, I will put her in the SS tier. Next is Cait Sith. Cait Sith, I think, deserves to be in the SS as well, for the fact that he was one of the greatest support characters that came alongside with Beatrix. If you had Beatrix and Cait Sith, it was pretty much like cheating. And the only reason why Cait Sith fell down was probably when Lena came around. Anko did a pretty good job in fighting Cait Sith for a spot, because her HP regen, I think, was a little bit higher. But overall, Cait Sith had a better overall buff, I think, with the Mog Dance Plus. He was a great Brave Battery as well, and he had an overflow. Now, his first ability, probably not the best, because it needed to be like max before it does an HP attack, but it was one of those things that the first came out was the splash damage, so I think he deserves to be in the SS because of his achievements. Next, Cater. She just deserves an E, unfortunately. No questions asked, guys. No questions asked. Celeste. I think she deserves to be at least in the B. She made the ultimate fights with the Espers, the summons, a lot easier, especially with Ifrit, and to a certain extent Shiva as well. I would incline to actually put her in the A class. With her EX, she did a little bit more damage, but she is a niche tank, so it wasn't like she could take on physical attacks. So I might change my mind, but I think she's somewhere in the B or A department. Next is Sid. I think Sid is gonna be a C class, C tier, because I like how he can take off buffs from bosses and from any other monster, actually, I should say. His EX was good, but not great. He came in late and didn't actually change anything in the meta. As sad as that sounds, there are other like dispellers that will probably do a better job, but he doesn't have any debuffs as well, so that's the other thing. I think I'll put him in C. He might be a B, but I think for now C is where I will put him. Next is Cyan. Just put him in E. So I'm sorry for Cyan fans, but he's just not that great. No EX, subpar abilities. Yeah, he deserves to be. Now next is Deuce. Okay, Deuce. It's one of the characters that was missing on the other video that I made that wasted 30 minutes of my life. I gotta let that go. Okay, Deuce. Deuce, great brave battery, overflow. I think she needs to be in B. At least B. The only thing that I hate with Deuce is her buff gets cancelled when you get broken. And that lowers her potential as well. She was good when she came out. You actually, I feel like you needed her to a certain extent when her EX came out. Sorry, not her EX, her EX fight. But yeah, I think she deserves to be great brave battery overall. Next, Dark Knight Cecil. Dark Knight Cecil. You know what? I'll put him in D because he has his EX. Plus, he can launch. But the biggest drawback is losing those HP. As you guys know, if you're losing those HP, it's much easier for any of the monsters to actually kill you. So he doesn't have any sustainability of some sort, just like Renoa. So he deserves to be in D. I would put him in E, but he has his EX, so meh. Next is Edgar. I think Edgar deserves to be in D as well. He does have his EX, he does have overflow. He was one of the first characters that got the overflow as well. The sap debuff is nice, but he's kind of niche. He's a lot stronger on mechanical monsters. So, and he wasn't like a staying power at all. He doesn't have a lot of achievements in his back. So I think D, still useful, but not great. Next is Edge. Edge. You know what? I would put Edge in the C tier. That AoE provoke, and with Edge having 100% dodge, like evasion, he's actually pretty good. Obviously, the drawback is he doesn't have much staying power. He doesn't have an EX to fall back onto for extra damage. He's only got shock, so he's still pretty good, I think. But I think he just doesn't have the staying power. Next is Anko. Anko deserves to be at least in the A class, I feel. I would probably put Anko up in S, but I feel like she doesn't have an EX. That's what, holds her back for me. She's still really good. She can still be up there in terms of support. If you're running out of support characters, she's definitely one you may consider. Just because Kate sits up in SS, I feel like she should be in S. I'll think about it, but for now, I think she deserves to be in A at least. Next is Fang. Fang deserves to be... I think B or C is where Fang belongs. I like how she can launch in straight away as long as she breaks an opponent, and as long as that monster is broken, in a broken state, she can launch them at any given time. What she lacks for attack, though, that was the main problem. She's a not bad debuffer as well. So overall, I think Fang deserves to be at least in the B, even without her EX. She's actually a pretty good character. I like her a lot, and only if she had her EX, she'd probably be a lot nicer as a character. Alright, next is Baris. My gosh, where am I gonna put Baris? I think Baris is somewhere between B and C, depending on what you need of her. I think she deserves to be C. She's a great dispeller. She does need a few turns to max her potential, and this applies to all the Final Fantasy IV characters, I believe. I like her a lot, and I like using her to remove like enemy buffs, but she only has one Brave plus HP attack, which is our Water Whirl. Unfortunately, that cannon attack only like dispels, doesn't have an HP attack. It's a waste of a turn, so she does have to be in the C department, I think. Next is Furion. Furion, with his rework, deserves to be in the S tier. Great sustainability. He can heal himself. He can heal himself with his Brave Battery. He can do 100% AoE splash HP damage with his EX. Overall, because of his rework, he just jumps out. I think he deserves to be in the S tier at the least. Fran, the last character that we got, I think deserves to be in the B. B or an A. The only thing that I don't like about Fran is each wave she has to reapply that buff. I mean debuff. And without that debuff maxing out, she doesn't have access to her plus versions. While I like her overall, I think somewhere in B or A. And the only thing that really, the only really thing that's really holding me back putting her in A is that stupid early waves where she can't do anything but wait for the boss and apply her debuff. So I think I will have to put her in B. She doesn't have her EX, and while I feel her damage is really good, I just hate her in the early stages of the fight. Oh man. I might put her in A just because of that costume though. I'll think about it. Fran, I'll think about it. Next is Freya. Freya deserves to be in A. At least. She doesn't have an EX, but she's a good Brave Battery, good DPS overall, and I think she deserves to be in A category. Okay, I'm back. Sorry I have to cut a little bit there. I just wanted to blow my nose. Alright, next is Fujin. Fujin deserves to be in E. She doesn't have any achievements or anything for that matter to go for her. She doesn't have anything going for her. Let's just be honest. Next is Galuf. Oh man, Galuf! Oh man, Galuf at least needs to be a B tier, the same as Celeste. He is kind of niche with physical attacks, but boy, he was broken in some of the fights. And I would have loved to use him if I had all his weapons. Unfortunately, I didn't. So, at least a B tier. Not great, not the best, but still good. No EX, so that really puts a downer in his rankings. Next is Garnett. Well, we just got Garnett's EX weapon re-release, but I think she's in the D tier. Even though she has a lot of AoE going for her, it's not like she has the highest max Brave. The split damage is just not great. Yeah. And she's got like thunder and water. Like, which one do you want to be? You can't be both. while she has longevity in a sense, it's not that great. Her EX, not too bad, but yeah, unfortunately she didn't get a rework. If she did, I think she might have been a really good character to play around with that Imperil. I really wanted her to play around with Lightning, but I think, yeah, at best she can be a C tier, but to me she's a D tier, and I have her EX. Next is Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, I think, deserves to be in the E. Did we get his EX? I think we did, right? Dissidia DB, guys. Where I get all my info. I checked the gear list. Oh, we did it? Oh, I thought we did. Didn't we? I could be wrong. Dissidia DB might be wrong. In my head, I thought he had the EX. But anyway, the global scene, it's not listed, so I guess not. Yeah, not much staying power apart from his own character event. After that, he was gone. Useless. Sorry. Next, Golbez. Golbez needs to be in the SS. He has staying power in terms of the meta. Got quite few good achievements on his back when he released, and plus after that, probably fighting with Renoa, who's like, you know, who's the best right now, and he probably in the top 3 best overall character, I feel. Yeah. Next is Hope. Hope. There is no hope for you, unfortunately. No rework, just a brave battery. Not even an HP attack, I think, with those brave batteries, from my memory. But yeah, not great. Irvine, same thing. Not a great character at all. Has that range in peril, I think. But yeah, no EX, not much staying power. Has to be somewhere there. Next is Jet. Oh my god, Jet. Jet, where could you be? With his rework and his EX, he deserves to be at least in the S. But does he deserve to be an SS? You know what? I think I will put him in SS. For the fact that the initial brave that she gets, that recovery he gets, is insane. It pretty much guarantees a plus version of his attack. Although he is locked in the fire element, that Jet Slash, man, that double overflow that can happen when you have Jet Slash is so good. It's just so good. I think in my video that I made earlier, that wasted half an hour of my life, I put him in S. But I think, thinking about it, I think with a combination of like a good support character, Jet is a monster, just a complete monster. Even without one, he's still a monster, but with one, he's definitely like crazy strong. Next is Kane. Kane got a rework. With that rework, I feel he deserves to be in the A tier. Great DPS overall, single target DPS, has a bit of longevity with jump, EX that can launch, which is always nice. I really love the gameplay of Kane. It's just so quick. Every single ability is so quick, and I like that. So I think I will put him in the A tier. Next is Kafka. Oh, Kafka is an interesting one. I think he also deserves to be in A tier because of his unique debuff that can cancel HP attacks from bosses. Great debuffer. Has that EX that has some sort of sap on it as well, which is always nice when you're debuffing a boss or any other monsters. Not quite in the S tier, I think. He's kind of niche in a way. He made certain fights easier, that's for sure. But did he stay long enough to be an S tier? You know what? That's debatable. That's really debatable. I think I'll put him in A for now and see if I change my mind. Next is King. King deserves to be in D. Not quite as useful, but still useful nonetheless. That awakening was not too bad for King, to be honest. Next is Krile. Krile can cry in E territory. Unfortunately, there's really a lot more better characters than Krile. Plus, she needs few turns to maximize herself, so nah. Next is Kuja. Oh my goodness, Kuja. Where should I put Kuja? Joseph here might hate me from now on if I put him too low. If he watches this video anyway. I think Kuja deserves to be at least in the A, the same as Kafka. He made a lot of fights easy, I think for about a month. So that is good achievement for Kuja. He wasn't in the top tier anymore when Golbez, or was it Renoa or Golbez came out first? I think Golbez came out first. So, you know what? Because even though Golbez kind of kicked him out, because of his achievements, I think he still deserves some honorable mention in the S-class tier. He certainly lasted longer than Kafka, as far as I can remember. So, for achievements alone, I think he deserves to be in the S rank. I could be wrong. In my heart, I think I would rather put him in A because, yeah, he just gets outclassed in terms of DPS. But in my head, remembering the times I used him, he deserves to be in the S. Alright, let's go with that. So Joseph here won't kill me. Next is Laguna. Laguna, I think, is either a C or a D. I think he deserves to be in D, to be completely honest. I can put him in C, but his first ability, which is a Brave Battery and a debuff, but doesn't have an HP attack, yeah, that deserves to be in the D. Right now, you need that Brave plus HP attack. Yeah. Alright, next is Laila. Laila deserves to be in the S at least. Or should he be in the SS because of his achievements? Because he pretty much opened up the launch meta, which lasted for a very long time and is still quite viable up to this point. And he got his EX, which is another launch, right? I think just for achievements alone, he should be there. Yeah, I think I will put him there because of his achievements. Honestly, power-wise, I think he's in the S class. But because of his achievements, I will put him in the SS. Next is Lena. Lena is an SS, no questions. Greatest support character ever. Yeah, fight me. Plus, you know, Windrake buff. Oh my god, and just really good. Really good. You don't get any debuffs from that. Leonhardt, I think, deserves to be in D. Doesn't have an EX. Kind of work like Squall in a way. He does have some healing capabilities, but yeah, not that great. Maybe C. I don't know. I'll think about that if I'm happy overall. Next is Lightning. Oh my god, Lightning, my favorite character. I really just want to put you in SS, but now guys, honestly, when Lightning's EX came out, I use her almost every time in every EX fight. She fell off a little bit, well, quite a lot actually. When the power creep came about, when Kuja came, but I still used her and she was still viable. She was still clearing a lot of my EX fights. Granted, she wasn't the optimal character. That's all been fixed with this rework. And I feel like if she gets the chance to actually redo everything, she will be an SS tier class. But seeing that won't happen, I think she is somewhere in the S class. She has delay, she has consecutive turns, free ability usage, and now both her abilities have a plus variant, and both have overflow, and both have HP attacks. So at the least, I think she deserves to be in the S tier when it comes to DPS alone. In my heart, you're always SS, Lightning. In my heart, you're always SS. Next is Lilith. I think Lilith deserves to be in the A. Not quite in the S, doesn't have an EX. Great debuffer, great Brave Battery, but obviously if the boss or the bosses is immune to her debuffs, she's kind of useless. Yeah, the sap is really good, but overall she just doesn't have the power to Brave Shave at all. So she deserves to be in the A. Lion, I think she was one of the Cursed 6, right? But I never used her, ever. It's not like her abilities are unique as well. Did she even get her EX? Did she get her an EX in the level 60 era? I don't know. I'm trying to look for her. Dissidia DB, guys. Check it out. No, she did not. She did not get an EX. So, E ranking. Lock. I actually got all of Locke's weapons, but I haven't max limit broken all of it. I think I max limit broke his 15. I got his EX too, but I never used him. He's sort of C tier to me. I used him way back when I used to play in the Japanese version of the game, so I know what I'm saying at least. He's good. He's got healing capabilities, got AoE splash damage. EX isn't that great. Buff wise is kind of weird, but yeah, I think C is where he should be. He can probably go to B, but no one really uses him. Doesn't have much achievements, as far as I can tell. Next is Lulu. If Fran is in B, Lulu deserves to be in B as well. She is a Fire Imperil and Fire Enchant character. AoE, AoE's damage, really great as far as a character without an EX. I would be inclined to put both Fran and Lulu up in the A category, but I will think about it. Next is Maria. Maria deserves a B tier. Great Brave Battery, has healing capabilities. Unfortunately, it's just outclassed. She does have her EX, right? I'm pretty sure. Dissidia DB, guys. Best place to look. Alright, let's have a look. Yeah, she did get her EX. I would be inclined to put her in A, actually, because of she does have an EX. And it does have a 50% splash damage. And then there's that target 5 turns explode. I never played around with her. I never got her EX, so I'll think about it. That's it, guys. If I don't know, I'll think about it. Next is Noctis. Alright, Noctis. Noctis should be in the A category. He held his own during the start of the level 60 era. Unfortunately, just gets outclassed later on, as he doesn't have any Brave Overflow, and his EX didn't have any overflow as well. Was mainly used to retain his buff. So yeah, he could even be in B, honestly, but I'll put him in A. Next is the Onion Knight. I think the Onion Knight with his rework deserves an A. It's kinda stupid that the Blade Torrent EX in Ninja form is way better than the one in Sage mode. I think they need to change that. I don't know if they did in the Japanese version of the game, but that Sage mode EX is like the worst variant EX ever. You really want it to be in the ninja form to use his EX that way. That way, even without overflow, at least it will do HP damage twice. Yeah. Actually deserves to be in the top A rank. Maybe an S. We'll see. Next, Paladin Cecil deserves to be an S. Not the greatest of anything, but a good healer, good DPS, has longevity, and has his EX to boot that can imperil light element. Yeah. I think overall a great character. Overall a great character. Next is Palom. Palom, I think, deserves to be in D. He does have his EX, but I never really used him. So, and he's like farming. I know some people use him for farming because he does that pretty quickly, but I use Golbez for farming. Same thing, right? Yeah, I have really nothing much to say with Palom since I don't use him that much, and I don't believe a lot of people actually use him in the EX fights throughout the months that we were in the level 60 era. So that's, yeah, I think I'll leave him there. Next is Poeple Emo. Definitely a D class. Unfortunately, while he was really good in the level 50 era, he just couldn't cut it in the level 60 era. He doesn't have his EX, and without much, he does have staying power, which is great for him, but I think he is a league below like someone like Locke Arif or Edge. Maybe. Penelo, even though you're gonna be good in the future, deserves an E in the level 60 era. Wouldn't say great at all. Okay, sorry I had to cut the video again. I just had to get something to drink and clear my nose, so let's see. Pritch is up next. She did get her EX, but as a hard, strong DPS, hard-hitting, strong DPS she is, I think she will have to be in the D tier. Originally, I thought she is at least in the C tier, but the problem with her is she does need to rev up. She will waste one turn overall to get the plus or better versions of her attack each and every time. So once you spend that, she goes back, she has to do that. It's a waste of a turn. Even with her EX, which is really nice, super strong, hard-hitting EX, by the way, she just wastes a lot of turn. I would even say Poeple Emo is a better option than her, as Poeple Emo does not waste a turn. The only problem with Poeple Emo is overall his max brave isn't that great. So yeah, D tier, unfortunately. I really like Pritch, by the way, but yeah, as much as I like her, that's it. Now Quistis is gonna be an SS tier, probably the great friend support character ever, don't question that. And just because of that, she's in the SS tier. She has a lot of achievements. She's made a lot of fights easier, so she deserves to be there. All right. Let's see. Next up is Raijin. Raijin is gonna be an E. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Okay. Next is Ramza. Ramza. I think Ramza at least. Here's the problem with Ramza. She needs to set up. He's a good ray battery. He's got that HP attack plus. She's got a good EX. I'm saying all the positive things, but in my head, he's just in the B tier. Achievements. Let's take a look at achievements. Not much, really, to be completely honest. It's not like you needed him for any fight. I think he will be a B tier. Because here's the thing. You need to use Galvanize, which wastes one turn. You need to use, what's his other, Shout, which is another turn. Basically, you wasted 2 turns already. You do an HP attack, which is nice. And then you have to do a Brave attack if you don't have any Brave battery, which is another wasted turn. Even though he's a battery himself. There's just other characters that are better. Even Maria, I would say, is a better option. But because of his EX, that Enervate EX debuff, I would put him in B. I would incline to even put him in C, along with Lock. Which, yeah, kind of sad. I really like Ramza, but I'll put him in B for now. Next is Realm. She is a unique character. Where should I put Realm? I think Realm deserves to be in D. It's not like she was needed in any fight. She doesn't have any achievements to talk about. She didn't get an EX, I believe. Yep, didn't get an EX. Just overall, not great. I mean, her attacks vary from summon, which is a nice kind of mechanic, but yeah, I would say not great overall. Rem needs to be an A at least, I think. She's underrated as a healer slash brave battery. Her switch changes the order. She can push someone way at the back and move it forward along with her. Cure adds a plus attack. EX is HP 100% AoE HP damage. Her HP attacks give brave. Overall, I feel like she's an S tier. The only bad thing about her is she actually doesn't do any damage, no brave shaving at all. But for what she can do, she deserves to be at least an A. I might consider her for S, but for now, she deserves to be an A. Next is Renoa. Renoa is an SS, no question. Greatest DPS, at least until Vayne came out, I guess. But yeah, deserves to be there. Next is Rosa. Rosa, I actually don't have Rosa's kit, so this is just my own opinion. She deserves to be in the C with Arif, with the revives. She has auto revive, which is a lot nicer. She has an EX. Do I put her in B? I don't know. I never really played around with Rosa because I don't have her kit. I could be wrong, but she's in the C for me because this is my own opinion. Sorry for Rosa fans. I'm sure she's probably a lot higher, but because of my experience with her, unfortunately, I would have to put her in C. It's not like you needed her for any fight. It's not a need basis. Yeah. Next is Rydia. Rydia, our last lost chapter, I think deserves an C with alongside Rosa and Locke. She has an EX, fairly good DPS, water imperil, water enchant. Unfortunately, the imperils are nothing to write home about in the level 60 era. I know it can be a little bit more useful in the level 70 era, but as for now, I think I'll put her in C. Next, the God Saz in the level 60 era. I don't know. Level 50 era definitely belongs here. Level 60 era, still a great debuffer, I think. I mean, not the debuffer, great buffer. Has a lot to offer. Not bad in terms of attack, with aim having an HP attack now. Unfortunately, his buff does waste one turn. He doesn't use any HP attack with that. It's not a great brave battery overall as well. So, C rank. Next, Cypher. Cypher. Probably the best out of Fujin Raijin. He's not a bad debuffer. He has one overflow. But I think he will have to be in the C rank. At least for me. It's not like he has any achievements to nothing to write home about. There are other better debuffers. I think he will just have to stay in C. No EX. Selfie. I think Selfie will have to be... The thing is, Selfie was the top tier support type character alongside with Kate Sith. So until Kate Sith came out, at least I think Selfie came out and then Kate Sith came out later. So I think she deserves at least an S. While she's not as great as Lena in terms of blocking debuffs, it is still there. She can heal. Unfortunately, she doesn't have an EX. That's why I'm a bit... I might put her in A. But... yeah. I think I'll put her in S for now. I'll think about it. But I think she sort of has the achievement to be put in the S class. She did pretty well as a support carrying until Kate Sith came around. So what? That's like three EXs? 3 EX fight, I think, until Kate Sith came out. Man. I might change my mind, guys. I might change my mind. But for now, let's put her there. The only thing that really makes me want to put her there because she can block debuffs, which is a really, really nice thing to have. Alright, next Sephiroth deserves to be... SS or S? SS or S? I think Sephiroth deserves to be... This is hard. I'll drop him in the S. It's not like he's had a lot of achievements. He is a great DPS, great aura overall, which will slow down the enemies with his frame buff. Great single target. EX is okay. I really like it. I might change my mind. He might get up there. Next is Sarah with her rework and her EX. I think she deserves at least in the S ranking. The only drawback is trying to get her passives, which overall is quite difficult. I have 2 perfect curse passives for her, artifact passives. The third one I just gave up on, but I think she deserves to be there with that frame debuff that her EX applies. Not SS just yet, but I think S, S class tier. Great Brave battery as well, and obviously has all of her attacks has an HP damage now. So I think I will put her there for now. Okay. Setzer. Unfortunately for Setzer, he doesn't have the longevity to talk about. Even though Freeze is a very unique debuff, unfortunately he doesn't stay long enough in a fight. Great support as a support character, for a friend support character, sorry. I would incline to put him in S, but Quistis is just like, the best friend support to bring. Well, I guess you can put Setzer there as well, but Quistis is more useful, I think. Anyway, that's a matter of opinion, that's debatable. Next is 7. 7... Honestly, I might put her in D. She's not a bad character. She's just like Fran in a way that she needs to apply her debuff before she can use optimize herself. Yeah, but Fran, the thing with Fran is she has AoE damage, and unfortunately 7 doesn't. She's more of a single target, so I think I will have to put her in D. Not great overall, but I think she can push herself to a C if I'm really nice. But that's it. Next is Seymour. Honestly, I feel like putting Seymour in D. Even though he has his EX, so debuffer, very slow character too. Well, not great overall, to be honest. Probably can put him in C because he has his EX. But yeah, I wouldn't put him past the other ones that I have there. Even Arif, I would prefer Arif with her bulk healing and revive. Next, Shadow. You're just not cut it for the level 60 era. Maybe the 70 era, as I hear good things. Next is Shan Toto. Sorry, 40, if you're watching this. But even though Shan Toto is the very first level 60 awakening, she just wasn't that great. I have to be honest. I'm really sorry, 40, if you're watching this. And I put Radia up in C tier, which is your second waifu. Yeah, I just have to put Shan Toto in E. There's really not much of like a fight that you absolutely needed her, and she would be if anything a carry. You have to carry her a lot, unfortunately. Next is Snow. Snow is an E character, no EX. I think he improves in the 70 era, but unfortunately he is just gonna be there for the level 60 era. Squall is next, which is an interesting one. We got his rework, second to last. Squall has always been my farmer character, but now he's done quite well for himself. Not overall great, but definitely better version of himself. He would have been a C character for me, at best a B, but now he's an A. Could be an S, but I think Solid Barrel has overflow. Renzoku Ken is now 100% if you have Lionheart. The EX is just bad though. His EX is just bad. I think if anything, that's what's gonna, make me stop putting him up. He doesn't have Overflow on Renzo, which is kind of limited to what his max brave is. And I don't have his World of Illusion weapons to increase that max brave even just a little bit as well. So, but even with that, I wouldn't say he's overly great. Still good farmer. I'm just trying, guys. I'm just trying to find the positives that can make him go to S tier, but I just couldn't put him up there with these characters. So I think he will have to stay in A. Sabin, Steiner. I'm sorry, but these two, Steiner. I know some Steiner fans out there that feel like You know, he's a good farmer, but let's face it, there are other better characters for farming. Terra, first level 60 era. Terra carried us for quite a bit, I must say. So, I would put her in the C tier for achievement-wise. She did pretty well for herself. I would actually inclined to put her in B, but I think she was just power crept quite a lot. But she was one of the first monsters that we had, and I feel like with her achievements she could be a B, but I think I will put her in C for now. Thancred, I think, deserves to be a B tier. She was one of the top DPS we had when he had his rework. He was one of the first ones that had an early rework, so they can shine a little bit longer. Did you need Thancred at all at any given fight? I know I didn't use him, so that means a no. But I know for a fact that he was the highest single target DPS for a little while at least. He had those overflows. I'm inclined to put him in A. I think I will put him in A. He's not bad. He's got poison. Most of his abilities have an HP attack. One has I think it needs to be 80% of his max brave for it to trigger, but hell, I think he'll make it. I think I'll put him in A. Titus got a rework, but I think he is just an A-class, A-tier character. While his rework was really nice, it's still kind of clunky. Like, you'll run out of his buff midway through a combo, which is not good because he stops getting the overflow, I believe, if he runs out of that buff. So I don't know whether it's something to do with his level 70 awakening. That's why it was designed like that. But yeah, the AoE for his EX attack is really nice, but not as great as Furion. I think Furion has a higher base max brave than Titus. He's a good debuffer. It just wasn't any case where you had to have Titus. He doesn't have achievements on his back, I think. That's it. Tifa, I'll be nice, I'll put her in D. She's got an EX, but yeah, it's a launch EX, which is nice. The Zangan whatever buff is nice. But she still needs to 100% her max brave in order for her to trigger an HP attack on her first skill. So yeah. Next is the twins. The twins, I think, deserve to be in B. Unfortunately, while they do have a lot of 100% AoE attack, they just need that. Once the buff runs out, they just slow down, and I don't feel they have enough max brave to kind of compensate. They don't have overflow, which is something that you need towards the end of the level 60 era, which where they are basically. They came out towards the end of the level 60 era and they didn't have overflow. It's nice, a nice farming, but the animation is long. So You'd rather bring someone else, to be completely honest. Yeah. Next is Vaughn. Vaughn has had quite a few accomplishments in terms of fights. I would put him in the A tier. Now, he's obviously been power crept. He doesn't have the longevity as a lot of these characters have. But overall, he has had quite a lot of accomplishments. Heretic quests in the early level 60 era, and if you have his EX that's, you know, extends his longevity, I still feel like right now in the power ranking, if this was a power ranking tier, I would have really put him in B. But seeing as this is like an overall, you know, tier list for the level 60 era, and I'm counting their achievements and how long they've been in the top, I guess I should put Vaughn. I should give him extra credit and put him in A. Next is Vanille. Vanille, I feel like, is going to be B. While she made Ifrit Ultimate Fight a lot easier with the Dispel, the same category as Celeste, she did get her EX, but she's really niche. She doesn't have much of an attack. She requires at least 80% of her max Brave in order to trigger an HP attack, I think on both her abilities, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I wouldn't put her in A at all. I think B is the highest she's ever going to be. Next is Vayne. Vayne is definitely going to be SS, crazy mechanics, crazy DPS, and I think he'll carry us to the level 70 era. Vincent, I like Vincent. Oops, I like Vincent, guys, but he's either a B or a C, and I think I might put him in the C tier. He has good AoE Brave attack. Let's get that out of the way. But he only has single target HP attack. He has Imperils, which is nice, but again, in the level 60 era, Imperils aren't exactly needed. It's nice, but Lulu does a better job with the Fire Imperil. The Lightning Imperil and that debuff is really good. The attack is basically non-existent if you use that debuff. But he runs out. He runs out of abilities pretty quickly. And you're gonna have to try using Brave Attack Plus, HP Attack. He doesn't have an HP Attack Plus, I think, from memory. So, I think C is where he belongs. Vivi, he's one of the cursed 6, isn't he? With his EX and that double fire, honestly, with DPS alone, I would put Vivi up there in the A category. He doesn't have any achievements per se, but if you have his EX, that double fire, man, that's insane damage. Honestly, I want to put him in B, but I think he would outclass everyone in the B. So maybe in A. I'll put him in A. I'll be nice. Cloud gets his rework, but I feel he deserves to be an S-class soldier. And I know a lot of people might be thinking, but Monch, paralysis launch, overflow. I get it. I want to put him in the SS, but that EX is just crap. It's just crap. That EX is crap. It needs an overflow. The damage is kinda crap, being split among all monsters. Let me tell you, I really want to put him in SS just for the fact that he can 100% paralyze after his finishing touch. And I'll think about it, but I think he will be in S as far as I'm concerned. Achievement wise, he didn't achieve anything much. Even though he got his EX at the start, he didn't get his rework until later on. So it's not like, you know, he's done much for us. Alright, next is Waka. Waka, I think, is kind of underrated. I want to put him in B. He's got his good Brave Battery. He's got good passive, which is Player Coach, which increases the max Brave all around for the team, as long as he's buffed, I think. And he's got Blind, which is pretty clutch. So I think he's either B or a C to me. But I think I'll put him in B just because of the Brave Battery. Alright. Next, Warrior of Light. We all know the Warrior of Light will be really good in the level 70 era. But in the level 60 era, he's just a C-class tank. Unfortunately. He doesn't have AoE, like, you know, provoke just yet. I don't think he has AoE shield just yet. So the rework might do him wonders. Especially in the 70 era. But in the 60 era, it's not like we use them a lot. Yang can go in E, he's useless. No one really uses Yang. Ida, go in there. No one uses you as well. Ishtola. Ishtola, I think, deserves to be in the A tier at the least. With her EX and ability to delay, plus it does HP damage now. Brave Battery, as long as she's at her max Brave, she delivers the same max Brave to everyone in the party. Therefore, in summon stages, you can just like keep going and going and going. Really great character. I wish I had her EX, to be completely honest. I didn't get it. Alright, final few. Oh my gosh, this is a very long video, guys. I'm sorry. Next, Yuffie. Yuffie is an E. We don't use her. Yuna. She did have some achievements at the early 60 era. So I'll put her in D. She can remove debuffs, which is nice. Cheer is not a bad overall ability as well. Unfortunately, she doesn't have her EX just yet. She could be in a higher tier. Yuri, I think Yuri, I'm a bit conflicted with this one. I don't really use Yuri a lot. I have his kit, but I never used him. There's just nothing for him. He doesn't have an EX. I may be underestimating him a little bit much here, but I think because he doesn't have much achievements, I will put him in D. Next, Zack. Zack deserves to be in the SS tier class. Best tank in the level 60 era. Even though he came in late, he is the best tank we have, especially with his EX. Yeah, I wouldn't go past him. Let's see. Zell has to be E, is useless. Zidane with his rework, I think, deserves an A class tier. Even with his EX has launched, not that right. I mean, he is great now, but not super duper great. Yeah. I think I will go with that. I think he deserves to be in the A. So, that's 99 characters overall. I don't know how long this video is. Probably an hour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. But let's review some of these characters. And do I want to change some of this? Right. First, let's take a look at the SS. I think I'm quite happy with the SS. Maybe Jet. I was a bit torn between him going to S class. But overall, I'm quite happy with the SS. Now the S tier. Now the ones that I feel like that can go up to SS is Agrius and Sephiroth and Cloud, sorry. If I had to choose which one to go up in SS, I'm really more torn between Agrius and Sephiroth. Cloud, I love you, man, but the EX counts. And silence and down to 0 is actually pretty nice. You know, his buff is nice, her buff's nice. He doesn't have a buff for everyone. So it's really between these two. Whoops. That wasn't what I wanted. I think Agrius I will move up out of those three. My reason for it is she can be a good brave battery as well. Now the frame buff that they both have can pretty much cancel each other. Silence versus 0. Brave battery and paralyze, chance to paralyze, not as great as the DPS, but I think Agrius overall deserves to be an SS. I think Sephiroth deserves to be an SS as well. Should I just put both up there? Both of them there? I think they're a class stronger than the ones in the S tier. Agrius has more achievements for her event. She was kind of essential there. She was kind of essential. And after that, she was still a monster in other events. She can still be a monster in other events. Ash has paralysis as well, but okay, I think I'll go with that. Happy with the S tier. Anko has some achievements. Noctis, I'm happy with that. Squall, yeah, I don't really want to put him past Cloud at all. I think Cloud is an overall better single target, while Squall is an AoE. Should I put Squall in S? Does he deserve to be in S? He did carry me a lot earlier on the level 60 era. Yeah. I think I'll put it in S. He does have some achievements. When he first came out, he was able to at least, you know, go through quite a lot of the EX fights. Yeah, And I think we're lacking in the S department. Titus, man, I really want to put him in the S, but he doesn't really have the achievements. Vaughn has more achievements, I think. Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of happy with this one. I'm kind of happy with that one. B class, who can go up in the B class? Fran and Lulu. Both have overflows. If I had to pick, do I pick both or do I have to pick one? I think the thing with Fran and Lulu is they came in so late, and it's not like they had the achievements to back it up. And Freya is overall better character than both of them, I think. At least Fran in like a boss stage will do really well. Once you get to the boss stage, Fran can do pretty well. That's why, because of the costume, I put Fran A. Oh my god. Because of the costume, I put Fran in A. There you go. Fight me. Oh my gosh. Alright, I think I'm happy with that. Lulu, I guess she can go up there. I'm kind of torn, okay? But I think I'm happy with that. C. I think I'm happy with C. The only one I can go up to B is probably Rosa, but I never used her, so... Again, this is my own opinion. D and E, I think I'm happy with. So there you go, guys. There is my level 60 era tier list. At the end of the level 60 era, that is how I would rate these characters. And at the start of the level 70 era, I guess you can look forward to which characters you're gonna be using. Again, this is just my own opinion, and you're welcome to actually make yours. I think you can look up my I didn't make my own template, so I think it would be saved, right? I hope so. So you can look it up and see how you go with your tier list. Let me know which characters that you want to change, and you feel like, you know, arguably can go up a tier, or some characters that arguably can actually go down their rankings in my tier list. Leave it all down in the comments below. Again, Dissidia DB, thank you for letting me like cut all these pictures, and I can put it here in the tier list. And yeah, I think I will have a rest after this very long video. One other thing before I do go is, if you guys want me to make a top 3 hardest EX fights in the level 60 era as well, because I did the level 50 era, and I thought maybe I'll do the level 60 era as well. Let me know if you're interested in that. I may still just make it out of that, you know, what the hell, I might as well do it. But I'd really like to see if anyone is interested in that, because I am sick, so it may be a little while before I release it. But if there's a lot of people who actually want to find out which are the hardest EX fight, at least in my experience, leave them down in the comments below. So make sure to follow me on Twitter and on Facebook at Munchkins Gaming. This is Munchkins logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.